What's up, YouTube? It is James and Emery.
What's up?
And welcome to episode 6 or 7 of the podcast. I'm not sure. I was definitely supposed to check that right now. But either way,
we're here.
We're here. And thank you for joining us once again. We forgot to do an intro when we started this podcast, so we're getting it out of the way right now. We think you'll enjoy this one.
We're going to put it at the end.
No, we're going to put it at the beginning. Don't listen. I don't know. We might. We'll see. We'll find out at 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
Well, I'll find out by then because you're going to be 9 a.m. Oh, a.m. I was thinking p.m. Why would you put it out that late?
I don't know. But either way, the subject of this one is from an entrepreneur article that was written, honestly, back in January 2016 by Grant Cardone.
He's probably changed his mindset by then.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But the article says, be hungry or starve as an entrepreneur. One of the things that I was like, I'm not sure if I agree with that. I know Grant Cardone is a very...
Wait a minute. That makes no sense. Be hungry or starve is it?
Well, he's saying if you don't do this thing, you'll starve.
You're not hungry.
Or you could be hungry, but you could be doing the wrong thing and starve.
You could be satisfied where you're at.
Complacency?
Maybe. No, not necessarily.
But wait. So here's the point that he's making. In this piece of the article, the first thing he says, you must change your mindset. He's saying that you need to take every piece of work, treat every customer as if you need them because they don't need you. Now, I kind of was like, I'm not sure if I agree completely with that you should be treating every single customer as if you need them. But that's what we're getting into today. So I figured we'd talk about that.
So we're gonna start talking about that right now, or are you gonna cut and then go?
I mean, we're gonna cut and go to the video. So I hope you enjoy the conversation, and let us know what you think of the comments below. My entrepreneurs, go ahead and check it out. What do you say? I do know quite a few of you guys. Do you take every piece of work that crosses your table, or do you pick and choose whichever's the best fit for you? Or if you say, hey, I don't think that this will be a great workout, because every customer that you have is a new relationship. So you want to make sure that that's a quality to relationship and that you're able to provide what you promise on that. So, but yeah, guys, give me your insight on it. I want to hear what you have to say. So yeah.
And then we're going to cut to the regularly scheduled, in progress conversation that we were having.
Yeah, because yeah.
And then we'll cut back to us now. Cut, do the cut thing that people offer me. It wouldn't be wise to.
What?
Because for me, and I see this a lot with other artists, they'll close their commissions. And doing a commission piece takes time. You are getting paid, hopefully, a good amount. And it can possibly, if it's at the wrong time, take away from what you're doing. There's things that you're trying to do that you can't do now because you're spending time working on this project when there's something else you need to be working on. So for you to have the mindset of I have to take every single thing that's offered to me, I need them more than they need me, that's going to put you always at feeling you are climbing out of a hole.
Climbing out of a hole that keeps on falling in itself.
Yes. And you're always going to look at it like if anybody gives me anything, I have to take it. I must take it. If you do that, you're going to overwhelm yourself with other people's stuff, and you won't be able to work on your own stuff to sort of bring yourself to be yourself. You're literally working for other people, and you could have done that working at a regular job.
Do you think that would apply in the concept of delayed gratification, where you're just going to have to put your stuff on hold until, or...
Well, no, I don't, because that delayed gratification also goes into you working on your own stuff. Say I'm writing a story and someone wants me to draw something for them. My story is going to take time. I can't put it out in a day. I still have to write that. I gotta like, I'm writing like 2 stories right now, and I need to work on the characters. Now, working on the characters is gonna take some time to flesh them out fully. Then I gotta go back and do scene by scene how they connect in ways that are deeper than just, okay, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. I need it to be deeper than that. So that is going to take time to get that story the way I want it, to put it out. And let's say that this story is successful, and then I can make passive income. That passive income is a result of the time I put in for months to do that story. That's why people close their commissions, because they're working on a story. They probably got hired to do a story, and now they have to close their commissions because they're like, well, I can't do both.
Right.
Or they're working on their own story and they're drawing their own story, and they know that they need this amount of time to work on this story. They need to work on this story like 10 hours a day sometimes when it comes to drawing. Or, if they have another job, 2 hours a day.
Right.
So if someone comes to me and I'm working on my story and I know I'm not getting paid for this story, and someone's like, hey, I need you to draw this, $50. And it's like, well, I kind of need $50. I'm putting my stuff off. And now by that time, someone else comes to me. I got I sent it, they showed it to someone, they loved it, they want something else, and now they're going to pay me $100 to do something bigger. That's going to take even more time, which means I got to put off my story so I can work on somebody else's stuff. And that can go for anything that you're trying to do when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to you trying to get bigger and more established in what you want to be in whatever career field that you're choosing. And then someone pulling you and saying, I need you to do this specific thing that isn't necessarily right in the realm of where you're trying to go right now.
So with that, do you think it's like, I think it's really important to set a goal or a limit in that. So like you said, if someone's like, hey, I have this thing that I would like you to do, I'll pay you $50 for it. And you're like, hey, I really need $50. And then someone else comes to you with something else. Do you think it's appropriate to set a limit on either the dollar amount that you get from that? Because it could be a case where, hey, you need that money right now, so you're going to do that job right now. As soon as you hit that goal, you're like, okay, that's it. And you got to set that precedence with your clients, saying, hey, I have room for a couple of more jobs, and then that'll be it. So you can set the expectation that they won't be caught off guard, when they say, hey, can you just do this one thing? It's like, hey, remember I said I'd just take a couple more, so unfortunately I can't take any more right now. Because that's really important. I feel like it's a boundary for yourself. Mm-hmm. So you're not going so far off the path of where you need to go, because I'm familiar with that feeling of feeling like, these people keep on pulling me this way and I'm really trying to head the other way.
Yeah.
And I promise it's not Corona. And it can get very overwhelming. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Guys, I coughed. Now, see what he's doing. We've been roommates for over a year, so it's not like him scooting his table over is gonna
keep talking, James.
Gonna fix anything. But yeah, so I think it's really important just to set boundaries for the purpose of yourself, so you don't find yourself being overwhelmed by whatever you're doing. It's like, hey, they keep on asking for stuff, but I feel like I have to keep on doing it. No, if you set your boundary for yourself and you stick to it, that'll prevent you from getting into that feeling of, I've gotten too far away. And then for them as well, when you go to them in advance and say, hey, I can definitely do that. I have a few more spots available, but after this point, then, there are other commitments that I have to commit to. So, get it in while you can, give me these projects now. So that way you can secure that funding for yourself that you may need right at that moment. So that's what I feel. But yeah, I agree. This article saying act like you need every single person who hits you up for some business. I don't think that's necessarily
Nah, because
true.
you don't need everybody.
No.
And not everybody's going to support you. Some people might try to take advantage of you.
Very true.
And then and if you have that mindset, you're going to be like, well, I need the money. So even though they're going to try to exploit, no. If you have a standard, you got to stick by that standard. And they might try to exploit you and say, well, I'll give you, they'll lowball you. They'll lowball you for your talent.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people go through that. Feeling like they need to do it. I need to get exposure, whatever. So even though I said this price and they're trying to pay me this price, there's some things you got to be able to walk away from.
And you know what you reminded me of? I was talking to Paul, and he said, even if you're doing like just some charitable work that you usually wouldn't charge for, like in the case where, we're doing some installs for some churches, everybody's trying to live stream, they're trying to upgrade their setup so that they can reach their congregation and beyond. He's like, even in those cases where it's like, you're really just there to help, you're not really looking for making money. Mm-hmm. You're really there to help. You still have to charge something.
Yeah.
The reason being is because if you don't charge anything, they will have you in there 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Doing a whole bunch of stuff. If you're charging something and they actually have to pay for something, then, they'll start prioritizing, okay, well, we need you for this.
Yeah.
Okay, where can you set us up to where we can do this ourselves? Because everybody's time is valuable. And while you may be doing a bunch of free work 12 hours a day over here, you could be doing a bunch of paid work over here, making good money. So,
or you could be doing other stuff with your time that don't even involve money, because your time in relaxing is important too.
Yes, time with family, time to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like all that's important. You can burn yourself out over there trying to be like, well, I could be making like this amount of money doing this, and then they can pull me over here, and then I can do this, and then I need this, I need that, I need.
Which that's kind of the real. I feel like that's the real goal of an entrepreneur. It's not to make more money just to make more money. It's to make more money because you want to be able to more or less have control over.
Yeah.
Okay, I need time to myself. I'm going to go relax. I want more time with my family. I'm going to go do this. You're not going to be working on somebody else's clock where they tell you what time that you have.
Exactly. I thought, this was me, the goal of an entrepreneur was to have freedom.
Right.
And if you're saying I got to grind 24/7, that's not freedom. That's not freedom. You're putting yourself in this little box. You're basically putting yourself back on that wheel. That's just pushing and pushing around and having a little turbine go around. You're on that now. You put yourself on that, and you don't have to be on that. Like if you feel like as an employee you're chained to something, and an entrepreneur is supposed to be free over there flying around like Superman, you're over there as that grind all day mentality. You're back on that wheel, chained. You literally change yourself to something else
instead of being chained by somebody else.
Because you should have that freedom to be like, okay, I want to do this, I want to go here, I want to go there. I don't have to do this today. I can do something else because my money is working for me.
Right.
And your money doesn't work for you if you're an employee because you have to go into work.
And your money doesn't work for you if you're grinding 18, 20 hours a day.
It doesn't. And that shows that you don't know how to manage your resources, your time, your talents, because you feel like you have to be out there all the time means that your product doesn't sell itself.
True. Now, I will say, I don't think this is a case where, okay, so I'm a live sound engineer. You guys in the event space may know that events can run for 22 hours out of a day, which I've done those before. They're lots of fun. I enjoy it, but it's a lot of time. But at the same time, if you're in the event space, you know that, it's a lot of money. You're not grinding 22 hours a day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month.
Days a week.
And if it is like that, and if you are
You're going to die.
if you're the owner, if you're the owner member of that company, or you're the CEO, whatever, then you're pretty much set to where you're not the one grinding out there.
Yeah, you
22 hours a day.
shouldn't. You shouldn't have to. You should be able to get the right people around you, and have them circulate in a way to where no one is exhausted.
Right.
If you have that many events going on.
But who carries that same ideology of the purpose of an entrepreneur is to benefit from the time. Graham Cochran on YouTube, he started the Recording Revolution YouTube channel. Then he started his own Graham Cochran YouTube channel. Great stuff, great guy. I always enjoy listening to his content. But yeah, he's along those same exact lines of, we're not here to make money. We're here to enjoy life more.
Yeah, and you can't do that working a regular job, so that's why you go to that. Like me and Charles, even though I'm still working a regular job, we were like, I don't want to work a regular job. Right. Because I know what I want to do. Like both of us at the time, which I still do, we want to make comics. And I know, I haven't seen him in a while. I know how much time it takes to make a comic. I literally know how much time it took to write the stories that I gave to him. And after you write the stories, send them up, we are supposed to go through storyboards, draw it, then ink it, then color it. Like, you could do drawing, because I've done it before. You could literally do one in less than a month. So, if you can do it in less than a month, and you can get another artist, and that's why I started drawing again, because I stopped drawing in high school.
Right.
And then after I had him, he was going to work on this story. I'm like, whoa, I could do this story. And then I know a couple artists, and if they wanted to, they could do these 2 stories. And then we could have 4 stories going on at the same time. And with that, we could have that much. And if we do a whole little company, none of us is working that hard. We're working at a good level to where all of us can come up. And we'd still have a lot of time, a lot of free time to work on our own stuff, do our own thing, go out, travel, do whatever, and still put our stuff out on time. We'd have time. We'd be doing something that we love, and we could share all in that.
And your quality of life goes up as a whole.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be hating where I'm at. I'm like, I don't want to work. I don't want to go to work today. I'd be like, man.
Because if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing something that you would usually love if you weren't making money off of it, like music. Like, I just enjoy music, period. But I guess it comes with a balance of, now that I'm trying to use music, I said now that, it's been
a minute.
It's been a minute. But with me being in the space of using music to make money, there is that potential of it no longer being something done just straight out of the love of it and something done for the paycheck. That's
and that's where it goes back to. That's where it goes back to doing something because you have to, because you feel you have to take every single thing offered to you. That's gonna take the fun out of anything that you do.
And at that point, it's just another job.
Yeah, it's just another job. And it might be stressful because I've drawn some stuff for people and I'm like, it's not coming together. It's not coming together. And now I'm like, I need to finish this. It's been this long and I'm saying what I'm going to do. Like, one of the stuff I drew this, I put up a sketch on Instagram. It was just a sketch of this guy. And I did it. I woke up in the morning. I was like, man, I want to draw. So I just started drawing, and that's what came out. And I really enjoy the drawing. I like it. And I did that just because it flowed freely. There's sometimes if you are putting yourself on, you have to do this now. You have to do this now. You have to do this now. And it's other people's stuff and it's not flowing. You are going to stress yourself out. It becomes another job. You're going to loathe parts of it because you're going to feel like you're not doing something that you love because it's stressful that it's not flowing. Right.
Right.
And now someone else has expectations on you to finish their particular piece. Like there's stuff when I was drawing my comic strip, like I told in the last one, I just had fun doing it. And one of the reasons why is because I didn't have expectations on anybody or feeling that I had expectations on anybody to draw or write the story in the way that they thought I should. You have that when it's, I need you to do this for me.
Yeah, and I'm feeling the exact same way right now because a couple of people actually had sent me, like, hey, can you make a few tracks for us? You know, we're looking for this, that, and the other. We're looking for some club bangers. We're looking for this, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, I took those on because I'm like, you know, maybe I'm trying to exercise in that area of working on commission pieces because while I don't necessarily, I'm not a fan of them, but I do think it's important to be able to collaborate directly with somebody.
It is important.
That way. But man, it's like it's a struggle. It's a struggle because number one, it's outside of what I usually do. Like I don't make club bangers like that. You know, just that type of style.
You make video game music.
What'd you say, the Donkey Kong?
Yes, all your stuff reminds me of a Donkey Kong level. I was like, I know this. I've been here.
but man, it's like on top of that, I'm putting it together and I'm listening to the reference tracks that they sent me, and I'm just like, it's so different outside of what I usually do, and it's just because it's that you can hear the difference in the quality. I just don't have the experience in that area, and I'm and I'm saying all those things because I'm just uncomfortable in this space that I'm not usually in musically. And on top of that, it's not what I would usually make on my own. It's definitely an exercise. So I mean, I'm glad for the experience.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm lacking the confidence that I have in this realm of music that I would have somewhere else. Now, what does that have to do with like taking on work from every client?
I don't know. What does it?
I think if anything, that is the silver lining. As long as you're not overstretching yourself to the point where you're either losing out on time or you are starting to dislike or hate the process of the craft. Because one thing that this other guy, Curtis King, he says you have to fall in love with the process. With anything that you do, you have to fall in love with the process in order to truly enjoy it. And once you start falling out of love with the process, man, I feel like that's the point where it really just becomes another job, where you're not really feeling that passion when you're doing what you're doing. Like if I'm doing an install at a church or I'm running a live event, dude, I'm enjoying the process. It's hard work, you know, lifting hundreds of pounds of speakers or sitting on a ladder, working above your head, hanging lights, whatever like that.
You're doing it by yourself, though, right? Though you're lifting at hundreds of pounds of stuff by yourself.
Of course, Emery. Why would you ever think anything else?
I don't know.
Man, you know, yeah. But you know, it's. I have love for that process. That's just stuff that I enjoy doing, even though it's hard work. That's part of what makes it fun. Yeah. But if you get to the point where you lose that love for the process and what you're doing, then at that point it's just another job, and you need to I feel like you need to step back a little bit, reset, you know, at least finish the job that you're on, that you said you were going to finish because that's your brand, that's your reputation. But once you finish that, step back, take another look. It's like, hey, do I need to readjust, reassess what I take, and then get back into it. Because that is such an important thing as an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs don't have it easy. This is not an easy area to be in. For the people who think that it is, it's really it's really a case of pick your poison, I think. You can either be stressed out and not having fun on a day job working for somebody else, or you can be stressed out and maybe having fun as an entrepreneur doing something that you love.
Like Jim Carrey said when he was talking about one of his father's quotes, you can fail at doing something safe. So why not fail at doing what you love? Or something to that effect.
Well, it's good nonetheless.
Yeah, because like that's where I was at, and I'm. Hey.
You say, hey.
Anyway, the two things which I was going to say based on what you're talking about. You, one, we're talking about how the quality's not going to be there if the some of the elements aren't there because you're doing something for somebody else. And that reminded me of a couple of artists. I've seen this artist make music from scratch on Instagram Live. Dope stuff. Love it. Turned it into a real song. Saw this same artist get asked to do something for a movie, and it seemed like that's not where the artist wanted to go. And I was like, this song is not up to the quality of the other stuff that this artist put out. Because like it was, we want you to do it this way, this way, this way, this way. We just want you to do it our way. And it was almost like,
See,
so it's not going to come out at the same quality.
Right.
Like that whole, you wanted this artist because of what the artist brought in. And now you're just like, we want you to be us. And I think with those particular movies, they do that with their movies as well. That's why their movies don't do as well as they could.
What movies?
I'm not telling you. Also,
I'm going to find out later and put it in the comments below.
Wow. Thanks for letting me know you're going to do that. No. Second thing I was going to say, based on what you were saying, is I told you to do exercises, man.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're like, let me get in this, let me do this genre of music.
I am doing that. That's a balance, man.
It is. Well, some of these, like I told you, some of the music that people make, it's a formula, and you can figure out that formula. Like pop music, it's formulaic.
Yeah, but see,
when it comes to bangers, if you listen to like 5 or 6, you're like,
yeah, they're all the same way. But here's the thing: there's a formula, and there's, do I actually listen, enjoy, have a passion for this music? Because I feel like
that goes back to what that guy was saying.
Yeah, but if there's anything that will make a difference between, okay, you know what, even scratch that. From my perspective as a producer making the track, it might not be great at all. Mm-hmm. Maybe the person who I'm doing the work for will love it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll think, man, this is amazing. You just slaughtered this. But from my perspective, because I'm not really into that realm of music anyway, from my perspective, I'm like, okay, it sounds average, but this person loves it. Shoot, go ahead then, Oh, so
I wasn't ready.
So guys, thanks for watching that segment of this episode. Best believe there's more to come. We had to cut it off this time, but next week is going to be part 2 of this segment. So we're actually trying something out right now. We know that long YouTube videos can be kind of intimidating when it comes to the length. So instead of doing the 40, 50-minute episodes, we're going to try to shoot for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most.
5 minutes, maybe.
Quick fire episodes, I don't know. But thank you for joining us on this one. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below what was your favorite part. Entrepreneurs, I want to know, do you accept every piece of work that comes to you, or do you, pick and choose based on, what availability you have? Of course, what availability you have. But, what parameters do you set for when you accept clients or commission work? I'm kind of curious. So put that in the comments below. Remember to hit that bell icon so you know every time the new episode goes up. And, yeah. Any last words? Not to sound cryptic. All right. Peace.